All right, so we want to get things started this morning with our new CTO, Doug. We're really excited. You've been hearing a lot this week about everything that, all of our technology and where we're moving with that. Doug he joined RTA in October last year, and he has over 20 years experience in software development and architecture, and we're really excited to have him here. He most recently came to us from Microsoft, and he's growing his team, as you've heard, and he has a lot of great things to share with you this morning. So welcome to the stage, Doug Perkes.
Please.
5150.
Okay, Barney Marispini, you are logged in.
Alexa, ask RTA for pending jobs.
Pending job number 1, shock absorber. Uses the following parts: 1 flux capacitor, 4 Johnson rods, 2 gaskets. Estimated completion time is 45 minutes. Do you want to start this job?
No.
Pending job number 2, oil change. Uses the following parts: 1 oil filter, 1 gasket, 8 oil quarts. Estimated completion time is 15 minutes. Do you want to start this job?
Yes.
Okay, clocking you into the oil change job.
Alexa, ask RTA to create a new job.
What do you want to name the job?
Air filter.
I found a recent similar job using the following parts: universal clamp on air filter. Do you want to use these parts?
Yes.
Okay, air filter job created with the specified parts.
Alexa, ask RTA to complete current job.
Okay, clocking you out of the job. It took 3 minutes to complete. There are 8 more pending jobs. Would you like to review them?
No.
Okay, enjoy your break.
Alexa, ask RTA to clock me out.
Are you sure you're done for the day?
Yes.
Okay, have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, what do you think? Good morning. I'm happy to be here with you. I'm excited to be a new member of the RTA family. It's really exciting as I'm coming around and meeting each of you, learning about how you're utilizing RTA to drive your business. I've been so impressed with your passion, with your desire to do what's right for you and your customers and your employees. And this demo of the hands-free shop, this is just a prototype. It's just something that our team came up with. What we do every quarter is we do what's called we call it a ship it. It's a hackathon. It lets our developers get together with our support staff, our sales staff, to come up with new ideas. This is one that our team kind of put together just over the course of a few days, demonstrating what could be possible in the future utilizing RTA and voice-driven technologies. Obviously, this was the Amazon Alexa. And it was interesting. I was kind of watching your reactions. At first, when they first said, "Hey, Alexa," you guys all just laughed like it was a joke, right? But then I think you saw what was happening is that he was actually doing paperless shop driven by his voice, okay? It's pretty impressive what we can do with technology. Our goal is to help you guys be as productive and effective as possible. One thing that's impressed me as I've talked with everyone here, and you'll see me, I'm usually a fairly quiet guy, especially in groups, and I've been sitting at your tables, and a lot of times I'll just sit there and listen. And I'm so impressed with how all of you are talking with one another. You're really taking this theme of connect to heart. You're talking to each other, helping each other solve issues, figuring out how to utilize RTA in different ways that are going to benefit you and your customers and your constituents. I've been super impressed, so thank you for embracing the theme of connect here at conference this year. Our goal at RTA, and Josh kind of touched on a lot of this yesterday, is really to build technology that's going to help you guys be better. You know, Josh mentioned we want to make a positive impact in the lives that we touch, and that's really true. Part of my desire or reason that I got into technology is I wanted to help people. Initially, I thought I was going to be a doctor, and I wanted to build like medical technology. I didn't go down that route, but I've had some great experiences throughout my career of learning how to really solve important problems using technology. And so I love the mission of RTA, that our mission is really to improve the lives of those that we interact with. And our software should do the same thing. Our goal, as Josh mentioned yesterday, is to make things that are simple. It needs to be easy to use. You need to be able to just pick it up and understand how it works. As you know, we have a ways to go. And so what I hope to demonstrate today through several demos that I'll be doing and a couple pieces of future technology that we'll be working on is show you ways that RTA is helping you guys be more productive, be more intelligent, be more learning, and help our software to learn as well. To do that, we need your feedback. Josh kind of went over our feedback portal yesterday, kind of walked you through that. I won't do that again. But in order to accomplish this vision of ours and this strategy that we have of really helping you be better, we need your ideas. We have lots of ideas. If you go and look at our feedback site today, there's over 250, 260 ideas in there already. We have our own thoughts about what are going to be the most important things to do, but we need your help figuring that out as well. So please, 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 go to feedback.rtafleet.com. If you don't have your own idea, that's great, because you can go on there and you can just go find something that you like. This one was posted yesterday by Brandon. I don't remember your last name, Brandon. You just click on it, say vote, okay? You get up to 10 votes. Once an item that you voted on has been closed, you get those votes back and you can vote on more items. We would love for you to go on there, look through the list. You don't have to look through it. Search through the list of items. Go out there and find the ones that you're interested in that you think will make your fleet more productive. Okay? I do want to give a special shout out and thank you to 3 people who've already submitted feedback on here. Brandon Wagster, are you here? No? Brandon. John Hull. Paul. Thank you. Justin Lord, are you here? Oh, man. Okay. But thank you. Thank you to those who have already submitted feedback. Thank you to those who have voted on ideas. I don't have a list of who's voted yet. That was a little harder to get. But thank you for providing that feedback. And again, if you haven't gone on there, go on. You should have all received an invitation. Even if you didn't get an invitation, you can go on there and you can register your own account, and then you can start voting and providing feedback. We need that to really help us drive the future where we're going with RTA. So there's a question on Tuesday night about how we do our product roadmap, right? How do we plan which products or which features we're going to build? How do we decide if we're going to do hands-free shop versus enhancing a report or things like that? And part of that, all of it is driven by you guys. And it's been, in the past, it's been really hard to figure that out in terms of, what's most important to you. But we're going to use that feedback site to help us now enhance our ability to deliver on features that you guys really want. But I want to talk a little bit about what's our roadmap right now. So the rest of this, my time with you, I'm going to talk about the future of RTA. I probably won't go too far in the future because a lot of times that gets really gray. But I'll go a little bit in the future. But first I want to talk about what we're working on right now. So we really have three kind of parallel roadmaps that we're working on. The first is our what I'm now calling our RTA desktop team. This is the application you know and love, or hate, or love to hate. This is the current RTA application. Okay, we have a lot of stuff going on right now, and I'll demonstrate a couple, or at least one of those right now, in just a second. So what they're working on right now, a new way to do imports and exports. I was just talking to a fleet manager or RTA administrator this morning saying, I wish I had a way to import and export my drivers so I could do them in bulk. They've got 1,000 buses for a school district. I wish I had a way to import and export those very easily. Okay, we're building in many more standard import-export so you can get at your data, import data, export it as you need it. We are building on, or improving, and I'll demonstrate this here in just a second, the whole lookup list experience. So if you go into parts, you go into vehicles, you want to see all your vehicles, you want to find a particular vehicle, you want to actually print out that list, sort it, filter it, group it, we'll have those abilities, and these are coming very soon. And we're also working on a bunch of optimizations for SQL Server, and we're preparing to move to the cloud, which I'll talk about later. We have a second team. We're calling it our next gen team, so next generation of technology. This team is focused on web and mobile experiences. We are dedicated to moving into the future, or the current, by utilizing web and mobile in the cloud. Okay, so we have our next gen team, they're working on that stuff. And I'll show you today the application that we'll be releasing very soon for our hosted customers that will essentially be dashboards on a mobile device. I'll demonstrate that. And our third kind of parallel track is our hosting team. Our hosting team right now is working on a plan to migrate all of our hosted customers up to the AWS cloud. And that gives us a lot of capabilities and a lot of ability for us to improve performance, reliability, growth. But the most important reason is it's going to allow us to start utilizing an array of technologies that will give us greater capabilities. So web, mobile, business intelligence, a whole slew of things that will allow us to just deliver a better experience to you as our customers. So with that, I want to show you what we're currently doing. Okay, this is what we're working on today that's going to help you be more productive and effective. Because I've been on stage before and I've had demos fail, and Josh pushed me on this. I wanted to do live demos of everything. He's like, no, you got to record it just in case. So these are recordings, just so you know, everything that I'm showing here, we can actually demonstrate. So if you want to see something in more detail, come up to me afterwards, in the afternoon today, tomorrow morning, whatever. I can show you some of this stuff live. So first off is our new F1 lookups, lookup lists, depending on how you look at or what you call it. We'll just walk through a demo of that. So I'm just a user. I'm logging into RTA. And let's say I want to go in and I want to see my list of parts. Okay, I'll just go into the master, part, file maintenance, just like you would normally do. And now I just want to see the lookup list. So now what's changed here, and I'll make the screen full size, is we have a new lookup list experience. You can now easily sort by field, ascending, descending. Okay, if I want to sort by the description, I can do that. I can sort by vendor. It's really easy. That's not very different from what you have today. Okay. But as I keep going through here, now we can start doing some more things. Okay. Now I can right-click and I can clear my sorting. But there are a whole bunch of other options there. Now I can click on that. There's a little filter icon. I can start filtering the list. And I can say, I only want to see filter oil or filter comma oil, a couple others. Click close. and then it'll just show me all the items that are filter oil. So a little bit easier search experience. Notice at the bottom that it shows what I'm filtering on. It's hard to see from there, and now I can add more criteria. So if I want to make my query a little more complex, if I want to just see stuff that has a VRMS code that begins with, in this case, 066, I can do that and show the filtered data. Okay. So the next thing is now how to get rid of the filter. I just click the X at the bottom, or you could right-click and choose Clear Filter. The other thing I can do is now we have the capability to do grouping. So if I wanted to group by the type column, now I can kind of give me an easier way to drill in and say, oh, I just want to see oils, or I want to see gear oil, or ATF, or antifreeze. Then we have this ability to do this grouping box, so you could actually group by multiple fields. You can just drag a column from your grid to reorder it. You can drag it up to the group by box up at the top if you want to group by it. Then we have the ability to show whatever columns you want to see. So if you want to see manufacturer, which I think in our data set is empty, but if you wanted to see manufacturer or the major VRMS code, you either double click it or you just drag it onto the grid right where you want it. So this gives you a way to not only find data that you need, but now you can kind of use this as a lightweight reporting mechanism. And then the last thing I think I was going to show here is just the ability to export. So now what I can do is I can just say, hey, I want to export that as an Excel file, or a Word doc, or a CSV file. Just easily, you can get at the data, export it out, and send it off to somebody else if you need to share the data with someone. The other thing you can do is we have full printing support. So again, this is kind of like a lightweight reporting mechanism. You don't have to understand crystal reports to get this data. But it gives you the ability to not only print, but then you can export to a PDF, or again, you can export to an Excel file. Once you export it, it's going to ask you where you want to save that file, and then it'll ask you if you want to open it up in Excel. Okay? So this is not designed to be like import-export. This is more of kind of reporting. If you want to print from these items, just a lightweight reporting mechanism. Scroll through and see all your data. Export to PDF is supported, so if you needed to send some to someone who doesn't have Excel or Word, you could do that as well. Open that file, and it opens just the same in Excel. If you had done grouping and then went off to print, it would actually show everything in group by headers. I just didn't have time to show that to you in this demo today. So that's F1 lookups. Is that going to be useful? Okay, great. Very good. We're excited about that. The team's been hard at work at that. If you think about how many lookup lists we have, you may not know, and I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but it's somewhere in the range of 160 or something like that. We're taking essentially the top 20 right now, or 20 to 25, and we're rolling these out across all of those. And these will be in the next release, so 7.2.5. Thank you, Josh. Still trying to remember all our version numbers. Next thing I want to show is mobile dashboards. Okay. Mobile's been a big request from a lot of our customers for several years. Who here is interested in having a mobile RTA? Okay. Good. That's about half of you. That's good. Who here has a smartphone? Now, how about Apple? Android? Okay, good. Well, it's going to work on both. Tablets, okay? It'll work on tablet, it'll work on phone, it'll work on Android, it'll work on iOS, okay? So let me show you what this looks like. Now, a couple caveats about this is our first mobile app that we're developing, so we started kind of small. We wanted to make sure that we understood how to build and deploy a mobile application that integrates with our database, and so there's a lot of back-end work that's happening. But we built something kind of interesting. So this is our mobile app here. You'll have an RTA icon just like you would. This is an iOS device. Sign in. You'll sign in with some credentials. We're working on exactly which credentials you're going to use, but it'll ask you to sign in. Once you log in, it'll come up and it'll show you the last dashboard that you looked at. Here we can see that we've got a whole bunch of information. I can see my total vehicles, available vehicles, unavailable percent, PMs past due, PMs due soon, right? So we get this whole dashboard experience. We wanted to keep it nice and simple. You can also switch between multiple dashboards. So I just switched from my manager to my accounting dashboard. Now I can start going in and looking at different metrics based on who I am and what kind of information I want to see. So right now we're not doing any parts lookup in here. We do have some drill down. So in that case, we could see the total vehicles by class. Essentially what we're doing is we're taking everything that's in the dashboard system that we have today, and we're exposing all of that data into the mobile application. So essentially you configure your dashboard in the desktop application, then you'll be able to go onto your mobile device and view the dashboard data here. Over time, we'll continue to enhance the functionality here, providing charts and graphs and things like that, but this is our start. Okay? Mobile dashboards, would that be useful to anyone? Cool. So those are just a couple of the things that we're working on right now. Okay, there's several more that we're working on. Mobile dashboards will be available soon to our hosted customers. The reason I say hosted is because in order to do a mobile application and to do the infrastructure that's required there, you got to be hosted. And there's lots of reasons why, but there's a lot of complexity that comes with creating an application like this. You think, oh, it looks pretty simple on the front end. On the back end, there's multiple servers, there's caching systems, there's databases, there's firewalls, and what we call an API gateway, and all of this infrastructure is pretty complex. We wouldn't want to throw that on you, and it would be very hard for us as RTA to support that long term. So that's why we say it's going to be our hosted customers only, because now we have access through the AWS cloud to be able to have all of that infrastructure available to us. What do we have planned? So we have some cool stuff planned. And when I say planned is it's on our roadmap. We're starting to do some preliminary work on it, but our focus is on those features that I was just showing you right now. So some of this stuff will likely happen, but they're interesting things that I wanted to show. The first one is business intelligence and reporting. One of our biggest requests that we see, even in our the former wish list items that you guys have filled out over the past few years at conferences that we've imported now into our feedback site, one of the biggest categories is reporting. Improving the reporting experience, giving you better access to your data, and we want to improve that. And so one of the things that several of us worked on over the past couple weeks is a prototype of how we might do BI, business intelligence and reporting in RTA. And so what we did is we built a website that utilizes a service from Microsoft called Microsoft Power BI. I know several of our customers have already kind of built their own business intelligence solutions on top of the RTA data, but it's a complex undertaking to do it. And so what we did is said, hey, what would this look like? And so what you can see here is we can see a bunch of data here. As soon as I went full screen, you have this interactive report. So I can come in and I can start changing the year. Okay, I can go from 2017, 2016, all the data automatically updates whenever I click on that. I can see my top vehicles by facility in terms of how much they're costing me. I can start drilling into any item on here, and everything else on the chart and graph starts filtering. So I can click on that top vehicle. It'll show me all the other charts will start changing. It'll show me, hey, here's the total kind of percentage cost for that vehicle. I can click on another one. Remind me never to own a water tanker because that's really expensive. So you can kind of come in here and start drilling down and filtering on this data. Pretty charts and graphs. If you want to see the underlying data, you can do that as well. There's three little buttons there you can click on. It'll show you essentially a table of the underlying data that we're operating against. The other thing about this is I can come in here, and these are just some samples. But essentially, our goal is to give you access to data in a way that you can understand it, so that you can build your own reporting on top of our database. If any of you, I know some of you have gone to the Crystal Reports class, and as soon as you start saying, oh, I got to start creating these joins between these tables, and you're like, man, well, I don't understand this stuff, right? And even harder is figuring out which field to join on, and if you join on the wrong field, you're going to get really messed up data, okay? We want to make it so that you don't have to figure that out anymore, okay? We'll make it very simple. We'll give you these tools that you can just go onto our website that we will be building. I'll show you a little bit more about that in a minute. And now you can come in and start designing your own reports. You see all the fields or the tables on the right-hand side. We've made them actually have names that you could understand, rather than VEH, FIL, and PG, PRT, LST, right? These tables are stuff you can understand. You can just come in and click and drag and move things around, filter them by date, and see what kind of information you can get in. So that's our BI reporting solution. Would this be interesting in anybody? Okay. If it is, and all of these things, if it is interesting to you, please go to the feedback website and vote on it. In fact, I don't even know if this is in there. Okay. First one to add it, I don't know. You get the glory. And then everybody else go in and vote on it, because stuff like this, we want to know if you need it. We want to know if this is something that's important to you. Okay. This keeps going. I'll kind of skip through it. Next thing I want to show is a prototype of our website. So we know we need a website, and what we want to do is provide that in a way that's going to work great. It's going to be an amazing user experience. It's going to be an amazing opportunity for you guys to work and to be very productive. And so we were putting a lot of thought into what is it going to take to build an amazing web experience for our customers. But let me walk through a little bit about what this is. Again, this is prototype. It may not look like this when we're done. And most of the data on here is dummy data. This is actually not tied back into the backend database. But you see, you log in, you can kind of get going. You have your user information up in the top, kind of standard web user interface stuff. Nothing too interesting there. But you come in and we start having interactive dashboards. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit, maybe. We've got it's better, more usable in terms of this is a much more modern application. Everything's going to be spelled out. We're going to have good workflows between screens and pages in the website. Okay, charts and graphs and things that we just don't do today in the RTA desktop application. Pulling your vehicle telemetry and all telematics and all that kind of stuff. Click and drag images onto it, update stuff. You get good validation, data validation, all those types of things. So super interesting. We have a lot of work to do to get to this point, but this is definitely on our roadmap. We just bought a team. Somebody saw it, okay. Well, the driver is named Anita Hug. So this type of stuff we're going to be building, the reports tab there would go into our reports portal that I just demonstrated, and we'll have things like this going on, date pickers and great, just modern user experiences. All of this will also work on a phone as well. Okay. So how do we do this? To do this, and Josh talked about our RTA subscription yesterday. In order, and I talked about this briefly previously, right? In order to provide these types of capabilities with business intelligence, reporting, the web dashboards, our mobile experiences, we're currently building those for our hosted customers only. And the reason why is because there's so much complexity to managing the infrastructure that's required to do that, that's just not something that the majority of our customers would even want to tackle, okay? But we also, it gives us a lot of capabilities as well. We can innovate much faster as a company, okay? We can start delivering these features as soon as they're ready. We don't have to wait for you guys to come in or our customers to install an update, or you guys have to wait for your IT staff to install our latest updates. We can keep you always up to date, which means we can innovate much, much more rapidly. We get rapid feedback of things that we've done wrong or things that we're doing right, so we can keep doing those good things. We can have better uptime and security by allowing us to run this in our cloud or in AWS's cloud. We can have increased security and compliance and certifications that some of our customers may need. We reduce the time to benefit, which means, hey, we deliver a feature, you guys get it right away. That means you're not waiting for us to deliver features. You're not waiting for your IT staff to get these things installed. And then lastly is the lower cost of entry. Josh has already talked about our, at a high level of our subscription model. But essentially what that means is our new customers won't have to buy the software. What they do is essentially pay us a monthly or yearly or quarterly fee. That's not the full price of the software. So it makes sense for a lot of our customers to go and move on to the software as a service model. So there's a lot of advantages to moving to the subscription service. Please talk to Josh or Dan, or not Dan, Josh or Jan or Dallin, our sales guys, about this experience. There's going to be lots of innovation that's going to happen in this space. He already talked about you get SQL when we're going to this subscription service. That's going to be a big advantage to a lot of our customers as well. All of these new capabilities that we're building rely on having SQL in place already. So there's a lot going on there. So my call to action: join us in the cloud on our software as a service platform. This is going to be an amazing experience for you. It's going to be better for us. It's going to help us innovate much, much more rapidly. And then lastly, just provide feedback and vote. Use that feedback tool. We are going to utilize that heavily as we do our product planning, product development in the future. We want to make sure we're building things that you guys need. And we know there's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of feedback items out there, and we want to know which ones are the most important so that we can focus on them and deliver great value to you. With that, thank you. I appreciate everyone's time, and we'll keep going today.